Hi, I'm Max.
Hi, and I'm Denise.
And welcome back to another edition of Urban Lifestyles. Still can't figure this weather out.
No, but we're on the tail end of winter, so that's a good thing.
Right, and speaking of a good thing, we are down in Shawnee Park, and this plaza that we're on was something that was created by MSD, because back a couple of years ago they had that huge basin project that was here, and this is just something that they left behind for the community, a part of the beautification project, and just shows you how committed MSD is to the community.
Definitely so, and I did a really great segment, but I don't want to steal the thunder from that, so moving right along.
Right, so we're going to have another segment with MSD a little later in the show. Also a piece that we did with the Harlem Globetrotters, and also a piece we did with Kentucky State University and Kappa Alpha Psi. We'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
Cycling is more than just getting from one place to another. It's healthy, social, good for the environment, and anyone can do it. We at Middletown love cycling and really love helping others discover a new passion. Stop in today and let our friendly, knowledgeable staff help you get started. We cater to beginners as well as experienced cyclists. We're a local business that cares about our community because we are a part of the community. Come in today and get on a bicycle that fits your needs and improve your lifestyle.
Energy company.
We are mothers,
Fathers,
neighbors, and friends.
Working hard when the weather is good.
and even harder when it's not.
With online updates to keep you safe and informed during the storm.
Programs to save you energy and money.
And new projects to help us provide cleaner, more reliable energy.
We're more than an energy company.
We are LG&E.
We're LG&E.
We are LG&E.
Our energies go to serving you.
When people think about youth violence, 9 times out of 10 they're talking about shootings.
The true violence against our youth includes a lot of things.
The lack of community centers and economic opportunities is violence.
Having your history taught to you from a Eurocentric perspective is also violence.
Food apartheid in West Louisville is violence.
As you can see, youth violence can be a lot of things. Help us prevent it. Now that's something we all can get animated about. Join the conversation at pridepeaceprevention.org.
What are you waiting for? Let's get animated, Louisville.
Well, you know, it's always a great time when the Harlem Globetrotters come to town, and they were in town just about a month ago, and it was a great show, and you and I, we actually stayed and watched the entire show, and I'm telling you, it took me back to my childhood.
It was very entertaining.
So take a look at this piece. It wouldn't be January if we weren't here with the Harlem Globetrotters. They're celebrating 94 years, and we're here with Hammer Harrison, who has been with the Globetrotters for 11 years, and we've got an interesting connection because he went to one of the greatest HBCUs, which is Hampton University, and both of our daughters went there as well.
Awesome.
Welcome to Urban Lifestyle.
Well, thank you for having me, brother.
All right, so tell me, when did you get involved, and what's it like being a part of this experience?
Well, I graduated from Hampton in 2009 and joined the Harlem Globetrotters right after I graduated, and it was an amazing experience. So far, I've been to about 56 countries around the world, and the experience just been overwhelming. There's so much history, great history when it comes to the Harlem Globetrotters, and I'm glad to make my mark in it.
So, you know, when you're a part of such a illustrious team, the style of play is different. So how do you categorize it? How do you explain it? And how do you explain the effect that you have on the kids all around the world?
Oh man, I love it. You know, the game of basketball done speeded up a lot over the years, and players are coming out even more talented than ever. You know, we have players such as, you know, Dizzy, who's coming out shooting 4-pointers. You know, we have a 4-point line about 30 feet away from the basket. So it just shows you how the game is evolving. And our interaction involves with the fans as well. You know, we want to make the fans a part of our game. That's why this year we have the 5th quarter where we bring out fans and we sign autographs and stuff, because it's all about the fans and entertaining at the end of the day.
And some of the things that I know that the Globetrotters have done over the years is now you've integrated, there are women that are on the team. So
yes.
What's that element like?
Yes, in case you didn't know, Lynette Woodard was the first woman to join the Harlem Globetrotters. Now she done opened the door for so many women and inspired so many women and girls around the world. It's unbelievable. You know, we have one of our teammates here. She goes by the name of TNT Lister, and she's one of our females. She was actually the 9th Harlem Globetrotter female player to ever play with us. So she'll be out there today, out here in the Louisville Yum Yum Center, and we're gonna have a great time with her.
I know normally all the Globetrotters, you have like a special skill, something
Yes.
that you do. So I'm assuming Hammer Harrison, you must
Great
be
dancer.
Great.
No.
You must, at about 6'9", you're about my height. I'm
Yes.
assuming that it's a lot of dunking going on from your perspective.
You're a smart man. You're absolutely right. They call me Hammer because I nail every dunk. You know, that's one of my specialties. That's what attracted the Globetrotters to me, was my dunking ability. And if you haven't seen my latest and greatest dunk, I actually jumped out of an airplane, 13,000 feet in the air, flew down, opened the parachute, and flew by a rim about 40 miles per hour and slam dunked it.
Okay.
And I'm still here to live and talk about it.
And if we believe this, you've probably got some land to sell us someplace, right?
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I am a realtor in the state of Florida. But yeah, you guys can check that skydive dunk out on YouTube.
So tell me, when you're looking at what you've done, all you've traveled, what's next for you as it relates to the Globetrotters?
Oh, just being involved with the community. You know, I love the impact that we have on communities. We're ambassadors of goodwill. I've done programs such as, ABCs of bullying, and we love to interact and inspire, because everybody goes through adversity, So, even myself, when I was 11 years old, I had an accident where I broke both of my legs. So, I always try to tell kids to keep going. Adversity comes, but it's about how you overcome it that makes you legendary.
Last thing, if someone hasn't seen the Globetrotters, if they didn't see them here in Louisville, but if they haven't seen them somewhere around the country,
under a rock.
what is one thing that you would make sure that everybody knows about the Globetrotters?
Man, we entertain from 7 to 70. You don't have to be a fan of basketball to come check us out. As long as you want to come out, have a great time, bring your family, bring your kids, bring everybody out. The game only lasts 4 quarters, but the memories last a lifetime.
And you're speaking of memories. I have great memories from back in the day, seeing Meadowlark Lemon, Goose Tatum, Curly Neal, and it was just something that I will never ever forget. Really appreciate you spending some time with us.
All right, thank you for having me.
All right, we'll take a quick break and back with more of Urban Lifestyles right after this. Show us one of something. There you go. Yeah, I used to do that, but I've been sick.
Here, look, let me see your finger. Let's see. We got some skills.
Yeah.
Hold it right there.
Yeah, that's it.
Go.
The extent of my skills. All right, grab it before. It's amazing. After all of these years, the Harlem Globetrotters are still going strong. And it's just so much fun when you look at the kids and how they're responding, and you can tell that they are really connecting with them.
Good family fun. What still amazes me is the skill set that what they do with that basketball.
Yeah.
And they're phenomenal players, and then you take it to that level, and it makes it so entertaining.
Right, and the player that I interviewed, he talked about the dunk from the parachute from the plane. I thought he was kidding, but go on YouTube, Harlem Globetrotters dunks from an airplane, and take a look at that segment. We'll take another break and back with more right after this.
When people think of youth violence, they always think of those kids hurting each other.
But violence against our youth is a lot of things.
Concentrated poverty is violence.
Making assumptions about black youth is also violence.
Having the police called on you for just existing is violence.
As you can see, youth violence can be a lot of things. Help us prevent it. Now that's something we all can get animated about. Join the conversation at pridepeaceprevention.org.
Come on, Louisville, let's get animated.
So Denise, you got to do a segment earlier today with MSD, so tell us a little bit about that.
MSD has another phenomenal project. Usually with MSD, it's about the safety, but also this is about the health, because we have to take into account about rainwater, mixing out with wastewater. It keeps us safe and healthy. And so this massive tunnel project, let's just take a look. I am doing one of my favorite segments. It deals with MSD, Metropolitan Sewer District. It's always something exciting, and especially about all the projects that they're doing. And these are the segments that I call Safe, Clean Waterways. Now, I'm on site, and all my garb here it's like being on a field trip, but I want to introduce you to an important person dealing with this project, and this is Mr. Jacob Mathis. You are the MSD project manager, and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for letting us be on site here with all the, I would say all the contract and the moving parts going together. But what's so exciting, I want to talk about this waterway protection tunnel. Why are we doing this? What does it mean? One of the things that stood out to me is I know everything the MSD does is for the safety of the residents, but this is also about the health. And so speak about the project and why it's necessary.
Okay, this project is part of MSD's consent decree project. It's addressing the Clean Water Act of 1973 to reduce combined sewer overflows from our waterways. So the Ohio River Tunnel will reduce overflows of about 439 million gallons during the typical year.
So I know that here in the city of Louisville versus outlying areas of the city, this is a lot of old infrastructure. So what people need to understand that came to my attention is when we have a lot of rainwater and you have the overflows, I didn't know that sometimes wastewater gets mixed in with that. So this project will help also, and that's why I think of the word safe and health for us.
Yes, in the old part of Louisville, the combined sewer system area, which is basically the Ohio River to the Waterston Expressway, the system is combined as its name says. So the sanitary sewer system does accept stormwater flow during rain events. And it takes no more than a tenth of an inch of rain to cause those sewer system to overflow. As the system was designed to keep from flooding residences and businesses, that flow would go to the local waterway, whether it be Beargrass Creek or the Ohio River. This project is intercepting that flow before it gets to the river and putting it below ground in our tunnel. The tunnel itself is 4 miles long, stretching from 12th Street to Grinstead Drive, approximately 200 feet deep, and will be a 20-foot diameter when it's complete. So it will have the ability to hold 55 million gallons at any one time.
55 million gallons of water. That's a lot. When I think about this underground tunnel and people have to work down there for you all, how do you even make this tunnel? How does a tunnel like this get to be carved out?
To start the tunnel itself, what we did is we built 2 shafts, about 48-foot diameter and 220 foot deep, about 200 feet apart. It took us about 9 months to dig through the soil and the rock itself to get to the bottom. And then we started excavating horizontally for the tunnel. But to access that, it is through a man cage and a crane. So it's like an external elevator. So that you enter into a cage which holds anywhere from 10 to 15 people. The crane operator will pick you up and swing you out over the hole and then drop you that 200 feet to the bottom.
So every day the employees somewhat are like going on, I would think of an amusement park ride because I often wonder when I see that, how do they get even down there to get to work? So you all have this system in place, which is really neat.
Yes, there is a system in place. Much like the people get to work in an office building downtown and go up 20 floors, we get in and go down 20. So it happens 3 times a day. We have 3 shifts, so 3 8-hour shifts in a 24-hour period. So it's around the clock, 5 days a week.
So when you talk about, making the tunnel and cutting it out, what type of machinery is being used, to cut such a tunnel out? And I heard something called a bumblebee.
That is correct. To start, what we actually did is we used dynamite and drilled and blasted out the rock for about 500 feet. We created a cavity below ground, which was used to insert the tunnel boring machine, which has been nicknamed Bumblebee in honor of Louisville great Muhammad Ali. And that machine itself is about 412 feet long and weighs just under 900,000 pounds. So that machine itself is what carves out the rock. It has on the front of it what is called a cutting head, and it has 38 discs on it which rotate and grind the rock surface as it moves forward.
So lastly but not least, Jacob, when I look at behind us, you said about the tunnel, you're moving rock, but where does all that go and what happens? And in reference to this as well.
As Bumblebee moves forward, the rock it excavates actually gets put on a horizontal conveyor belt and travels from the face of where the tunnel boring machine is currently located, which happens to be Story and Franklin and Buchanan area in the Butchertown neighborhood. And that rock enters the conveyor belt and makes a journey, which is about 2 miles from where we're at now, back to this site at 12th Street, where it is then transitioned to a vertical conveyor belt, which you kind of see behind us, and brought to the surface where it is dumped into a large pile and then loaded into dump trucks. And when we're actively excavating and moving forward, we can have anywhere of up to 300 dump trucks per day leaving the site with rock.
Denise, you are right. That was a phenomenal project, and it is going to be a phenomenal project because it won't finish till about 2021, I think.
Yes.
And just trying to really get your head around just how big that machine is. What do they call it? Bumblebee?
Yes.
Larger than a football field.
Yeah, a piece of machinery.
It's just amazing.
Larger than a football field. And one of the things is this tunnel. Just remember now, when they say it's so many feet, we're looking at this tunnel. Instead of thinking of a building that is 18 stories high, this tunnel is 18 stories low, deep in the ground. Massive, phenomenal.
You think they'll let us go down there sometimes?
No.
We'll take another break and back with more right after this.
B96.5, your number one for hip hop in Louisville.
Still going bad on you anyway.
Strip that you and heat to store. Money. Get a little cash.
B96.5 and hiphopb965.com.
Thank you so much, Max and Denise. It's your favorite girl, Bella Ray, in the afternoon. On B96.5, of course, we have a lot of things going on. First of all, Project Prom. Any girl that wants a prom dress, well, you know what? You can't afford that $400, $500 prom dress. Don't worry. I got all your prom dresses for $10 at the refinery. That is March 19th. Don't miss out on this. Thank you so much to New Year Cleaners for letting everyone drop their donations off. On top of that, now, you ready for some fun and you ready for some cash money? I got you. March 23rd, we have the Nick Cannon Money Blast starting. Of course, you get a $1,000 keyword. When you get that $1,000 keyword, you already know you're gonna have to text a certain thing, but just don't worry about it. I got you. On top of that, the next day, we're all going down to Rupp Arena. Of course, we might have to go to Lexington as fun for Wild and Out. That's gonna be March 24th, Lexington, Kentucky. Don't miss out. hiphopb965.com if you want all your details on everything from Louisville to Lexington to Indiana to wherever you're going. Team 96.5 has everything for you. And of course, don't forget about Nick Cannon Radio. It happens every single day, Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. You want some funny? We're gonna bring the funny. You want interviews? I'm bringing you interviews with Nick Cannon. Again, hiphopb965.com for all of your needs. And of course, thank you so much to Max and Denise. It's back to you.
Louisville was good. B96.5. Your man Nick Cannon is in the building and we taking over. We gonna be wilding every morning. About to have some fun, y'all. Let's go up.
Plus another move. Lock it in to the Nick Cannon Morning Show, 6 to 10 on B96.5.
Thanks, Max and Denise. This is my month, my favorite month of the year, March, because it's my birthday month, and we all about the green. We're trying to pay you Steve's Cash. We talking about our summer cash contest we do every single year. We give you the opportunity to win $1,000 18 times a day. That's 18 keywords. All you gotta do is listen for the keyword at the top of the hour. Once you get it, hit our website and enter for your chance to win at 1013online.com. We talking about free money you don't have to pay back. Now, tonight's a big night because we are celebrating my birthday early. You know I'm the St. Patty's Day baby, and it's all about tonight. We talk about champions and trophies, part 2. Shouts out to B. Smith, MJ Entertainment, along with the 3030 Club. It's a masquerade party. Come dressed to impress at the formal spot known as Kaz 1 and 2. Come on now. We got the best DJs in the city. We got DJ Z Nice in the 1s and 2s. We also got DJ Chaos, Mr. Old School. It's going to be 2 or 3 different rooms. It's going to be dope. Come dressed, come fitted, come celebrate with your birthday boy. You know it's going to be off the chain. Make sure you come on out. Cast 2, grown folks, 21 and over. We're going to celebrate Pisces birthdays, all the Pisces in the city. Make sure you come party with me especially, okay? And that's not it. The Louisville Zoo is ramping up real big. Lots of culture happening at the Louisville Zoo. It's called Wild Lights, the Asian Lantern Festival. This one's dope. If you like lanterns, if you like a little culture, come on out. They got 3 stage performances a night. You can go ahead and veer away from the traditional trail, walk in the Louisville Zoo. Check out what they got for you. They got culture. They got specialty food. They got traditional Asian performances. This is where you need to be at the Louisville Zoo. It's called Wild Lights, the Asian Lantern Festival. Little culture and plus some good Asian food going down to Louisville Zoo. The month of March is off the chain. Once again, it's my month. Make sure you follow me. Easy Bluegrass on everything. Easy BLUEGRASS. That way you'll be abreast of everywhere I'm going to be at. You know I do it real big in the month of March. It's my birthday month. Pisces, where you at? Back to you, Max and Denise.
And as always, thank you, Bella and Easy, for the updates. And of course, keep them coming.
And speaking of keeping things coming, we're back with Ivy Brito with State Farm Insurance, giving you the information you need to keep you financially fit. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Ivy Ivy Brito with State Farm Insurance, bringing you another financial segment on Urban Lifestyles. For the past 2 months, I've shared with you how to get out of debt because a lot of you had that as your New Year's resolution for 2020. So I gave you some key financial principles, and hopefully you've done your homework because that's what's going to help you to create some new habits and a new routine to get you on your way to that financial freedom. So remember, what you do continuously is how you become a winner. And if that's what you want to do, win in 2020, I want you to get it done. So part of the process of learning is review. And knowing the things that we talked about is what we're going to do so that you can commit those things to memory. So let's do a quick recap. We talked about changing your mindset. You've got to change the way that you think about money. We talked about changing your spending behavior. Needs versus wants. You've got to focus less on what you want and more on what you need. We also talked about getting organized. I showed you a couple of binders. You've got to make sure that you've got all your bills that are due in one place so that when it comes time to start paying those bills for the month, nothing falls through the cracks. We also talked about creating a spending plan. I showed you a budget. I showed you how to take your income, subtract your expenses, and hopefully come out on the positive side. And lastly, we talked about getting educated. You've got to educate yourself on these financial principles. So we looked at books. I shared with you some magazines and some podcasts. And now the ball is in your court. So remember, knowledge is power, but only when you use it. If you've missed some of those segments or if you need more help, please don't hesitate to call me. My information is on the screen below. Remember, knowledge is power, but only when you use it. Join me next time when we talk about credit score. What is it? How do I raise it? Max and Denise, back to you.
Thanks, Ivy, for that great information, something that we need as homeowners.
And great information. Speaking of that, who always brings in prominent speakers to provide such great information?
You're correct, Kentucky State University, and this month is no exception. They brought in the former Grand Pole Mark of Kappa Alpha Psi, so take a look at this piece. We're here at Kentucky State University with one of the past pole marks of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, something I know a little bit about because I happen to be a member of that illustrious organization.
Wonderful.
And I'm here with Dwayne M. Murray, the 35th pole mark. The 31st pole mark of Kappa. And welcome to Kentucky State University. And tell us what brings you here for this event today.
Well, I'm pleased to be here with the fine faculty, students, and administrators here at Kentucky State University. We're here for the Heritage Program. It's a program that they've been celebrating for several years now, but an opportunity to really talk about what has been going on in this nation, what Kentucky State University has been able to do to help its people around the community and all across this nation. So I'm here today as the keynote speaker, brought an address. The wonderful thing about it, the president only gave me 9 to 12 minutes to be able to talk, but we had an opportunity to deliver a message of hope, a message of promise, a message for getting involved in political context, but make sure that the young people on this college campus recognize that they have certain latent talents that they can develop while here on that campus to make them future leaders for America.
You know, what you said was really a mouthful, and there are a lot of drastic changes that are happening here. And when we look at that and we try to put it in a perspective, bringing it back to the Divine Nine, what role do you think fraternities and sororities play today?
I think they play a very, very important role. You know, since the beginning in 1906 with the founding Alpha Phi Alpha, fraternities and sororities were founded on campuses in which there were denied opportunity to most of those people who formed those organizations, particularly the African American community. And so they form a bond of unity, an opportunity to be able to get together, to socialize, and to recognize that the opportunities that were being denied to them were being offered to the majority. And so, for example, with the founding of Kappa Alpha Psi, we're founded on Indiana University, on a campus that just did not recognize its African American students, did not give them an opportunity to participate in sports, athletics, did not give them an opportunity to take certain classes. Well, Kappa Alpha Psi's founders, 10 brave, able young men, came together with an idea to be able to form an organization that would be a crystallization of a dream that if 100 years later could be sustainable on a college campus and campuses all across the nation, to be able to offer hope to young people who will be attending higher education.
You know, and the last question I ask you, when we're looking at the young men and the young women that do attend HBCUs, what do you think it means for them to see people like yourself that have achieved at such a high level?
Well, I'm an product of an HBCU. I attended Southern University Law Center. I did not apply to any other universities or colleges to go to law school. I saw what Southern was able to do for many of the lawyers that were in the community in which I grew up in. It was a door-opening experience, or eye-opening experience for me to be able to go to Southern University. I think HBCUs are significant because there are often times where students may have certain skill sets that have not been developed at the time that they offer themselves either for college or for professional school. These HBCUs would take a student, work with that student. You know, oftentimes in professional school, they say look left or look right, and one of you all or both of you all are not going to be here. Well, the HBCU experience is quite different. They'll say look left, look right, hold on to those people around you because we're all going to make it together.
So I'm here at Kentucky State University with the president, Mr. Chris Brown. I should say President Chris Brown. Welcome to Urban Lifestyles, and tell us about the event that we just experienced today.
Oh, thank you. Good to have you here. Kentucky State, once a month, we have a monthly assembly. February, of course, is our Heritage, or Black History Month assembly, and we were delighted to have Dwayne Murray, who's the Centennial Pole Mark of Kappa Alpha Psi and the Grandsire-elect of Sigma Pi Phi Boule, to address our faculty, staff, students, and alumni.
Right, you know, when you talk about these events that you're doing on a monthly basis, you're trying to take Kentucky State in a different direction. So expand a little bit on that.
Yeah, certainly a part of the work of a college and university is the social aspect, but it's also broadening the intellectual minds and the thought processes of our students and stakeholders, and exposing them to individuals who they may see on CNN or may read in a newspaper or may see in a magazine. But we actually bring them to campus once a month, allow them an opportunity to engage with our students, to address a corporate assembly, and then to enlighten the campus in ways that when they see the person again on CNN or MSNBC or Fox News, wherever, they say, oh, they were on my campus. They talked about XYZ. So it makes the knowledge not just classroom-based, but real and practical.
You know, when you're looking at an education in relationship to going to college, the HBCU experience and the traditional experience, you can't compare the two. So if someone asks you to explain what's the difference, how do you do that?
Yeah, and certainly this is a part of it, you know, and this is MILE, which I remind the students who used to struggle at first, but when we were in school, convocation or assembly was once a week. Mandatory attendance where they took roll in the seats. Now it's once a month. But what's very important is that anyone who gets a degree, the content is the same. Psychology is psychology, English is English, but the social, cultural dynamic, the out-of-class learning, the personal character development, knowledge development, and workforce readiness that HBCUs have provided for this nation for hundreds of years is just incomparable.
You know, Denise, it was great going up there to see Paul Mark Murray speak. He had some great information for the students that were there, and just really anybody that was in the room. It was nice to see the Kappas in the area to come out and support, along with all the other Divine Nine as well.
Yeah, all that crimson.
Yes.
It made for a nice picture.
That's it. You know, almost made me want to step. No, not hardly.
No.
You know what? I think that's our show.
Ooh, that's our time.
And we'll see you back here next time on Urban Lifestyles.
Bye.